My name is Brett Wilkenson. I'm Editor of Research at Channel Africa. It's the South African and African radio broadcasting service. We found that we're a very good training service. The reason being is that we're an SABC in a miniature position. If you think that each language is a station in its own self, it means that we're sitting here with 6 stations. But it's all on one floor, and it's covered by 70 people. So what we found is that it's a very good training place. Our problem, however, is maintaining staff, because we're on a set budget. We actually get our budget from the Department of Communications, the South African Department of Communications, and there's a set limit. So once we've trained people, unfortunately, we find that they then go on to better things, which is what you expect from a young person. So what we found is that we thought, because we have this problem, maybe what we can do is utilize our training factor in getting people to help us maintain our broadcasts, but then training them so that they can go further. A good example is that at least 7 people at SABC International, or SABC Africa as it's called this stage, are ex-Channel Africans. So that's a television service that has actually taken radio people because they're trained so well. We have found that you give a great foundation. What we didn't want, and that was the other reason why we went to the NSJs, we didn't want somebody off the street where you have to train right from the bottom. Journalism is, they say that it's 30% knowledge and 60% experience and knowledge gained on the job. But you need that 30% knowledge base before you can get the rest of the experience and training. And with the NSJ, they give a very good basic training so that you don't have to do that. So what you've got is, for example, if you're a painter, you've now got a very broad spectrum where you can do a lot of paintings. You don't have to fix it. We're glad that we can now get some NSJ students with different languages. Because our main problems, of course, with the other languages. English is not as bad off as, for example, Kiswahili or Chinyanja or Salozi. So what happens is that it boosts out, if you can imagine that our Chinyanja service has 3 people with a student, and then becomes 4. It's a quarter more full. So it helps us, value-wise. It also helps us to pinpoint possible students who, once they finish their studies, may want to come back. Just to give you some, the NSJ is just a part of a bigger picture for training, where we hope to also get the other national broadcasters from particularly the SADC region to also start a training course in similar fashion. Because you find that because we're at the top of the technology tree, if you want to call it that, a lot of the journalists in the other countries, for example, Malawi or Botswana, haven't got the touch on technology that we're using. So they could come here and train on the computer and the web site, and it helps them train the rest of Africa, which is part of our mandate. Our mission is to be the voice of the African Renaissance. To do that, we have to train Africa to be able to report about itself.
With the coming 2010 World Cup, do you think your partnership with NSJ to develop other African journalists would be beneficial for that event?
What we're thinking of is that we'll need some students because it's a very big event to cover. And we don't have enough manpower, or woman power, or person power, should I call it. And the SABC itself, honestly, won't have the person power. So if we can get a number of students to act out on the field, and we've had some training, or we've given some training beforehand, it means they get a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And as I say, experience is a major factor in journalism. It gives us the person power to cover the event properly, and it also helps us to send that material to the other national broadcasters in Africa who are part of the 2010, should be part.